Hello YouTube, it's me again, and this is going to be a considerably longer video than what I usually make because this is going to be a video all about my DIY Dollar Tree Traveler's Notebooks. I'm going to begin this video by telling you to look down in the description box because I'm going to link to the tutorial video that I used to make these. And I will also link below my Dollar Tree hauls because all of this stuff did come from Dollar Tree, and I've hauled the items here and there. In fact, one of my more recent Dollar Tree hauls, I hauled a few more placemats, and this is what I do with those, or what I've done with some of them. I will talk about each one of these as we go along. There are quite a few of them. I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them so far. So I'm going to go through all of them. I will be referencing the videos in the description box. So by all means, when you're done, finish watching this video, go ahead and check out those videos. Okay, so I'm going to get started. I'm going to go from smallest to largest in my collection. And some of these are going to be custom sizes. They aren't going to be standard size Dollar Tree Traveler's Notebooks. And what I mean by that is the very first one I made is this one. It was made out of the damask pattern placemat, and it is a very thin plastic one, as you can see. And this is actually called stretch lace. It's found at the Dollar Tree. It's not very thick, as you can see, it's very thin. So one of the things you do have to watch if you want to make one of these is that the elastic you're using is not of the best quality, but they have stood up from... I haven't actually properly used these yet either, but they have stood up so far. This one is made to house the mini composition notebooks. These are the ones that you can get from Dollar Tree, Walmart. They are very widely available, and this is why I made this one to this size. Now these are 4.5 by 3.25 inches. I believe this corresponds roughly to the passport size, but it's not quite the same size as well. But this one I made to fit 3 of the composition notebooks. And I also did some DIY folders for it as well. Now, and with the button at the back. And this is directly from the tutorial video. And I believe if you watch the video, she mentions buttons. And yes, you can get buttons at the Dollar Tree. They come in purple, yellow, and blue, and they're sorted. Okay. And what I'm using these for, as you can see that some of them, I've labeled them already, is from another video, which I will link below, and it's called Me Books. And I believe that, and the video is from the lady who created them, and she does a much better explaining what they are than I could ever attempt to. And I haven't exactly played with these yet, but this is what I want to do with this little traveler's notebook. And she explains why she does things the way she does. She actually made specific notebooks for this, but I just used the composition ones. I'm talking too fast, I'm sorry. I'm getting myself worked up. I haven't worked with this yet, but I like the idea that she gives in that video. So that'll be the next video linked below. Okay. I also made a second one of these because the placemat was big enough to make 2. And there will be a third one, which we will be getting to. This one is slightly bigger than the first one. I don't know if you can tell, but it's just slightly bit longer, and I believe it's slightly makes it a slight bit wider. Now this elastic came from, I bought a pair of shoes, and there was elastic keeping the shoes together, so I cabbaged this from that one. But you'll also notice that this one is in the spine rather than on the back. That's something I tried after I made my first one, and it's not a big deal. I mean, when you're punching holes for these guys, you can see you punch holes along the spine to make the strings for it. You just make another one in the center of the center hole if you wish to do that. and then you just knot it instead of using a button. This is also made for the composition notebooks. These are the ones you get from the Dollar Tree. And with this one I experimented with hair bands. I'll see if I can show you. But it's just a hairband holding that together. There's not a whole lot of give, and it is a Dollar Tree hairband as well, so I don't stress it too much if I can manage it. But the hairbands work just fine to keep these together, and then you can wrap them through a single string in the Traveler's Notebook. Like I said, I don't really have any plans for this one. This one was, I just wanted to use up what was left of the placemat. The placemat is fairly flexible, but it's also fairly stiff, so it holds its shape really well, which I like. That's what I like about this one. But like I said, no plans to use this one right now. This is just kind of extra storage for a couple of composition notebooks. Okay, now the next one I made is not made out of a placemat. My Dollar Tree actually started selling a foam sheets, and they were big enough to do a field notes size Traveler's Notebook. Now the Dollar Tree also sells field notes size notebooks, or these are also the smaller moleskin size. But I've hauled these. I've hauled several of these, and then they also come like this. And then once upon a time I found some like this. I've never been able to see these before or since, but it's the size. And then the flower ones are the ones that I most recently found. And these are 3.54 by 5.5 inch, which is essentially field note size. Now with this one, the felt is really soft, so I've actually kind of got to watch the hole in the spine. It actually might have been better if I put a hole in the back and put the button in, because I'm afraid that the string is actually going to pull out of the hole one day. And I'm not really sure how well this is going to hold up because it is so soft. I probably should have doubled the felt. You can see that there. Or at least put something on the other side of it to make it a little bit more sturdy. But I will show you what I've done with this one, because this one's different, again, from all of them. This one I figured out how to put a pen loop in it. And then this is a mini gel pen, which I do have a review on that. I will try to remember to link that below for you too. There's going to be lots of links in the description, and I did warn you about this. I've got one on the other side, but I'm not currently using it because it kind of deforms the entire thing, makes it really thick and bulky. But again, I've used Dollar Tree hair bands for these guys to put 2 on 1 string, and the most recent planners for 2018, the small ones, are the same size as the field note size notebooks, and that's kind of what I wanted. Was I wanted to be able to put this in a traveler's notebook. So I made this one extra thick so it can fit the planner and then 4 other notebooks in here. So on the other side you'll see I've got 2 more. And I've actually got the planner on 2 strings because it is so big. But there, that's what that looks like. And like I said, I probably should have reinforced it a little bit because I can already see the knot coming through the hole at the back. Even more so now that I've just done that, you can kind of see. So I might have to do some more thinking and maybe redo this one with using a double layer of the foam sheets. But the foam sheets come in several different designs too as well. And you will find me hauling them in my Dollar Tree haul videos, and I'll try to find the one where I hauled it. I'll try to find the one I hauled it for you. If not, I'll just link the playlist down there, and you can see some of the options that you have. And like I said, I've also hauled several placemats, which you'll have seen below too as well, or in the Dollar Tree hauls. Okay, so carrying on with the damask placemat, I went ahead and made a, yeah, that's the right way around, a standard Midori size traveler's notebook. Again, using the string from the shoes. And this is not really an insert, it's just kind of a template based off the Midori standard size inserts. When I first did this, I thought, okay, it's not right because you can see the orange peeking out from around the corners, but mostly that's just because of how the placemat was made, was that the corners were rounded as such. I don't have any plans for this one. I just wanted to see if I could make one in the Midori standard size, and I believe it is as such. And this was, so out of a standard placemat, you can get a Midori sized traveler's notebook, and then 2 of the composition size traveler's notebooks. I was originally just going to show this one as a fail, but then I did a little more research, and I think it might actually work. I just have to play around with it some more. Okay, so those are all sort of my mini traveler's notebooks. These next 4 are what you would call A5 size, or sometimes they're called wide. And a couple of them are for storage, and a couple of them I'm actually planning on using as bullet journal holders, kind of. The way Boho Berry does with hers, except she's got a very fancy Chic Sparrow one. But I'll go ahead and start with one of my favorites, and it is this one. I only found this is a vinyl placemat, so it's got a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more give. And I've never been able to find this pattern again, so I'm glad I found it when I did. But this holds a planner, actually, and a couple of composition notebooks. And I DIY'd another folder. I'll try and show you this. This folder goes with this little journal, which I found at the Dollar Tree, and that's on one string. And then it holds this guy, which I found at Walgreens last year. And he is an undated planner. I'm not going to show you inside him, but you know what undated planners look like. But anyway, he fits in here nicely. And the theme of this traveler's notebook is purple, so I've got another one of these folders and another one of these composition notebooks. And then, sorry, I gotta keep hold of it or things are gonna fall out. I figured out how to put a pin loop on this guy, and I made it to hold one of my Pilot G2 pens. And I've got a pen review on this guy too. So that is what is in that one, and I am planning on using it. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it next year, because I kind of want to use this guy next year, because this is a dated planner in here. But I'm not expecting the cover to hold up next year, which is why I'm so worked up about it, I guess. I spent a lot of time talking about it, at least I certainly feels like I did. The other one I'm working on using as a planner at some point is this guy. Yep, you can kind of see he's one of those holographic, you kind of move them and the thing moves with you, kind of a psychedelic thing. But this one is a very stiff plastic, even more so because it's got that kind of a texture to it. And I don't have much in here yet. This is sort of something to be used after the purple one. But it's just got a Piccadilly notebook in it right now. One thing I did find is that the more plastic of the placemats is not conducive to making pen loops. You need one of the softer ones, like the felt or the vinyl placemats, if you want to do pen loops. Because I did have a little bit of this left over too, and I tried cutting out a square of it, which is essentially what you do to make a pen loop, but it's so stiff that it won't fold over nicely. So that was kind of a fail. but maybe I'll figure out how to do it later. Maybe I'll make it out of something else and stick it in there. But as you can see, it is a bit longer than the book inside, so that means it's nice and wide and I can add more books to it. So there's that one. There we can kind of see how they move. Okay, and the next two, they're also A5 size, but I use these more for storage. And these are also a little bit more fun than the last few. And I say they're a bit more fun because this one is Star Wars themed. And I cut it out so that this guy was sort of centered on the front. And then you got the Rule the Galaxy on the back. And I did use the red stretch lace with this guy. And what I've got in here is right now it's holding all of my greeting card junk journals. I've got 4 of them in there. If you've never made a junk journal before, it's really simple. You just take paper, scrap paper, junk mail. I use greeting cards for the covers. You get about 10 pieces, fold them all together, staple them together, and that's pretty much it. You can find several tutorials on how to make these little junk journal inserts online, especially here on YouTube. So I'm just going to leave that to you to go look and search for and find your favorite way to do it. And the next and last, and possibly one of my favorites, is Finding Dory. And as you could probably see in the back, I centered it on here. There's Nemo on here so that on the back, Hank is looking at you quite creepily. And this is a very much blue themed. And I've got a couple of different things in here. One is I've got another greeting card junk journal, which is what this is, not the blue bit, but this one here. And this is the one I'm currently working on. And then I found a tutorial online on how to make a folder, not a folder, an envelope insert. And that's what this is. Ooh, what happened there? That's what this is. And that's what that insert is. Now this is a notebook that I probably shouldn't be showing you, and I'm not going to, not really. But I've been putting important information in it. I'm just going to leave it at that. Stuff I need to reference occasionally. And then this is another greeting card junk journal. Just got all sorts of things in there. And then this, if you can see this, is exactly as it says it is. It is my travel notebook. I have traveled with it this past year, but currently it's finding its home in here. I need to update it now that I've gone to a Big and Rich concert, and I also need to put my brother's wedding stuff in here because I got a few things from there. But it is getting rather fat, so I hold it together with a clip. Okay, and that's what I've got in my Finding Dory Fodori. And she's quite possibly my favorite one. Okay, so like I said at the beginning of this video, after you watch this, go down into the description below and look at all the links, because there's going to be a lot of stuff down there, and it's going to comprise of a lot of stuff that I've been talking about too. Excuse me. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.